Can I help you, gentlemen?
How do you do, madam? We should like to see one of your lodgers, Henry Hampford.
Well, he's away. And you must understand, I don't open my door to strangers, especially with all these prowlers about.
That is the reason for our visit.
You're the police.
No, Henry is a friend of ours. He expressed his concern to us about these intruders. We're here at his request.
I'm not surprised. Mr. Henry, while he might seem strange at first, is a thoughtful and kind man. He must have noticed how worried I've been. Why, just this morning some of my washing was stolen, and I'm sure it was those ones who took it.
It seems like the best place to start our investigation. May we step into your garden and then perhaps look into our friend's room?
I don't see anything wrong with your looking over the garden, but his room... You understand, he didn't warn me.
I understand.
What should we do next, Holmes?
Let's have a look in the garden. There should be a spade here. A small pickaxe.
Indeed, there appears to be some linen missing. A rake. Why take it, Holmes?
Tins of food tied to one another. Tins of food tied to one another. The wire seems long enough. They look to me as though they're rudimentary traps used to indicate the presence of intruders.
Oh, what a jumble!
There is something interesting here. I can't do that. No, it is unnecessary. Good, we can pass. This newspaper is 4 days old. The bishop's nephew was being watched long before his uncle's murder. The remains of a small meal. Someone has stayed here rather a long time. It is just as I thought. Here's an ideal view of Henry's room. This clothing is torn. The man who stole it must have caught it on a tree when he stood upon the fence.
And at the moment when he jumped, he left this jacket in the tree.
To let. The remains of a small meal. Someone has stayed here rather a long time. Is this the washing you were looking for?
Oh, yes, that's it. Where did you find it?
On the ground, doubtless blown there by the wind.
They didn't steal it then. I'd have felt better knowing that those lurkers were nothing more than clothes thieves.
That is not the case, madam. This affair seems to be rather more serious than that. It appears that these intruders were spying on Henry. Now, please, let us see his room.
Gracious me, whatever next? Come in. Take the first door on the left. It's open. He never locks it.
Never?
No, never. Well, you know him. He doesn't do things like everyone else. He lives in a world of his own.
When did you see him last? Did he say anything to you?
Yesterday morning, he just muttered a few words. I can't always understand what he's saying. When he does talk, that is. I can ask him a question, but he just stares off somewhere. The floor, the ceiling, as if I wasn't there. At first I found it strange, but I've gotten used to it.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. He's sometimes nervous too, isn't he?
Oh, yes. As soon as anything upsets him. Even when he's alone in his room, he gets cross. And then the next second he is standing stock still. He stares off into space and calms down again as fast as he became angry.
He got his scarf out, but he forgot to take it. Someone emptied a bag here. A violin. It is a lovely one, but where's its case? There is something interesting here. There is something interesting here. There is something interesting here. A box. Let's see. He scratched the lock's cipher codes for himself. Watson, write them down for us. He scratched the lock's cipher.
It is noted. It is noted. I have noted down everything.
This lock is very complex. The young Henry is remarkably intelligent. but according to the label, this box contained a Colt Patterson.
It is a powerful weapon, Holmes, and judging by the receipt, it was new.
This candle is still hot. It's been used recently.
During the day? Whatever for?
No hat, no coat. This rubbish bin was emptied, and then someone threw a torn piece of paper in it, and judging by the smell, there was also an onion.
Onion?
Let us put these torn pieces of paper on the table.
Both sides of the paper are blank. All this for nothing, Holmes.
Perhaps not, Watson. I need something. The address of a dock on the Thames. My dear Watson, in the garden and in this room, pieces are missing that should never have left their places. What do you think? Quick, Watson, there's not a moment to lose. Go and thank that charming lady while I try to recapture our new friend.
Recapture? What makes you think that he has run away?
I believe that our man suffers from behavioral problems. You must have seen or heard about those poor fellows who spend their time counting the gravel stones in the garden or moving objects from one place to another hundreds of times in one day. Well, the bishop's nephew suffers from a moderate form of this condition. Nothing would be more disturbing to him than to leave a personal space in such chaos, and yet this is what he has done with this room. For it to reach such a state of neglect can only indicate that he was in a most desperate situation.
And do you think that you can catch him?
Yes. The candle here is still warm, so he left only a few minutes before our arrival. But it is the missing violin case and the large pistol which concern me. We know that he is quick-tempered and volatile. It is never wise to leave a gun quite capable of killing a bull in the hands of someone like that.
Did he leave to go to the address which was written in the invisible ink, do you think?
Undoubtedly, Watson. And as for the missing spade, I can tell you that it will be used for digging. Are you ever going to stop delaying me with endless questions?
So, gentlemen, have you found anything?
We have learned enough to promise you that they will not return.
That makes me feel better. Thank you, gentlemen.
We are going to pay a visit to that mysterious address, Watson. But first, we must detour to Lambeth.
Lambeth? What are we going to do there?
Pick up an old friend. He will be a precious help in our locating Mr. Hampford.
Good. And who is this friend?
A friend who helped us in the case you so romantically titled The Sign of the Four. Here we are at the address that the nephew took such care to hide.
I wonder what it is that links this place with the bishop's murder.
The reason for the quarrel between the young man and his uncle is somewhere here in this industrial area, and that is what he has come to look for this evening.
It's an enormous area, and there are dozens of potential hiding places. How on earth are we going to find him?
The old dog Toby is the best sleuth hound in town. If the extraordinary Mr. Hampford is here, Toby will find him without any doubt.
But I've rarely seen such an old dog. Do you really trust his sense of smell, Holmes?
Absolutely. Besides, you are going to follow him. Take the bark and go around that disused factory. If the nephew wishes to run away, he can do so only through there. If you find him, hold on to him until I rejoin you.
Very well.
Get ready, Watson. Let the battle commence. Toby's sense of smell is legendary, but he needs to know what he is looking for. Search, Toby. Search. Here's a good dog. Toby, you have found his trail. Toby, you have found his trail. I don't think he came here for a drink. Our man came this way. Nothing of interest here. The lever is stuck. Our man came this way. Grease. Good dog, Toby. He left by this door. Locked from the inside. He left by this door. Well done, Toby. You are a true detective. Some ice picks are missing. He used ice picks to climb through the window. The door is locked, but we can force it. He took the gaff here and cut a piece of fire hose. It would be better not to go down there. Our man must be on the other side of the gate. locked from the inside. Toby, don't jump. Let us find another way in. Search, Toby. Search. There's a good dog. Now I can go down. Aren't you too old for this, Toby?
Safe here. Safe. Whew. Ah!
Don't be afraid.
But
keep
it's
calm.
you. Stay away.
I want to talk to you. Don't be hysterical. Drop your gun.
I don't trust you. You're out to get me. Don't come any closer.
The poor man. What a dreadful end.
He has definitely gone.
But why was he afraid of you? He was terrified when he saw you.
He must have mistaken me for someone else. Let's go. We have nothing more to do here.
We have been running around all night, Holmes, and I've had enough. And that poor young man. Let's find a police station and...
There's no question of calling the police. Is that understood? Instead, let us see how we might continue our investigation.
Very well, Holmes. Holmes, it seems that everywhere we go, there is a catastrophe. And here we are at a standstill.
Let us return to Baker Street as quickly as possible.
Oh, so all that for nothing. Oh, they didn't find anything. Sherlock Holmes isn't a nice man, is he? I don't think I like him now.
Look what I found.
Don't do that. We don't like him, but you shouldn't hit him like that.
Give that back. It's only a doll.
This is Sherlock Holmes's attic. All this must have belonged to him. I want to know what happens next. Keep reading.
3 trails and 2 dead ends. The poor nephew is dead, but Baines has the bishop's murderers. The only one left is the rat killer. Have you questioned him?
No.
May I ask when you're going to do it?
When I have found him.
What? You're not trying to tell me that he's escaped again?
Yes, but this time it's not your fault, nor mine for that matter.
You've been using me, Holmes. I unwittingly aided one of the most dangerous criminals in the kingdom to escape. So please tell me why.
An explanation would be futile. It would only lead to further pointless questions.
But do you have even the slightest notion as to where he might be hiding?
Forget Hans Schielmann for the moment, Watson. Just concentrate on the fact that the bishop is on the chessboard.
In any case, the news has spread like wildfire. Look at the headlines. All the papers are talking about it. And the Globe Explorer, their editors must be jumping for joy.
Let the dogs bark with the pack, Watson.
But how could Farley be so well informed? Look, he also mentions our visit to the opium den, and in great detail. How did he know?
Let me see. We're simply seeing a common denominator, something that links them together. And our journalist's mystery informer might just be that missing link.
Should we attempt to uncover his identity?
It is essential that we do so. Let us examine the map. We must talk to Mr. Farley.
Here we are at Farley's office. One cannot say that ethics play a very large role in his life. Look at the headlines pinned to the walls, like trophies of bad taste. Perhaps we will finally begin to understand the reasons for his persistence in tarnishing your reputation.
Perhaps. Cigarettes, an ordinary, inexpensive brand.
A press card. Osmond Farley. It's his overcoat. Coffee. It's still hot.
I cannot leave now. I cannot leave now. This is an electric box. Interesting. I cannot leave now. This door is locked. Is Farley afraid of being interrupted suddenly?
I must go out for a while, Miss Jean. I won't be long. Ask my appointments to wait, and send this message as a matter of urgency.
Mr. Osmond Farley, I presume?
Messrs. Holmes and Watson. What a surprise.
What is there so surprising about being visited by the targets of your slander?
I never slander. I inform.
You will have to accept the consequences of these articles, Mr. Farley.
Those words sound like a threat, Mr. Holmes.
I never threaten. I merely warn.
You don't frighten me, Mr. Holmes. I know all of your little secrets. And soon all of London will find out what really hides behind the facade of the impeccable detective. Thanks to my work, the whole world will discover the true Sherlock Holmes. Gentlemen, I don't wish you a good day.
What a bore! Even to the point of refusing to shake our hands.
Which means that we can avoid having to wash them. Did you notice the crumbs on his jacket? He had just finished eating and his hands will be covered in grease, the same as his mouth.
Slovenly habits. That's quite disgusting, Holmes.
Do not be deceived, Watson. The workmanship in those tailor-made clothes indicate that he is a man who takes pride in his appearance. If Farley has left without brushing off his jacket or washing his hands, then it is because he spotted our approach and wished to avoid us at all costs.
But why?
We will find out by searching his office.
The secretary will stop you. Please reassure me, Holmes, you don't intend upon knocking her out?
Only if we exhaust every other viable alternative. We must find a way of getting...
The secretary is occupied in sending a telegram via their electric telegraph. Farley asked that she should do so before he left.
We must find a way of interrupting the transmission, which will oblige her to go to the telegraph office in Kensington. It will take her some time to get there, and if we add on the time it takes to send the telegram and then return here, we should have ample time to search the office without being disturbed.
I suppose it's unnecessary to point out the illegality of this search?
I'm afraid so. This hanger has a large iron hook. This is an electric box. Interesting. I need a tool to remove the lid. I can hear an electrical humming. The secretary is using the electricity supplied by this switch. Let us see if I can cause a short circuit. There we are. It is simplicity itself.
Oh, that's just too bad.
Get out quickly, Watson. I'm going to hide here. The way is clear. Let's go, Watson. A page of this notebook has been torn out. We can only see the title in shorthand and today's date. It's a message that the secretary must send urgently. I'm going to recopy it.
You can read shorthand? You never cease to amaze me. Were you a secretary before becoming the great Sher?
Perhaps, perhaps. But no, a man must have his secrets. A makeup case with a good brush. I can make out the marks, but I need something to bring them to light. I must look more attentively. The ribbon is missing from this machine. The secretary has just changed the typewriter ribbon. There are smudges of dark blue ink. This paper only just escaped the flames.
But who is this note about? And who wrote it?
I will deal with it later. This book has fallen down from the shelf.
The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. My word, it's my stories about your investigations.
A real investigative reporter must have read them, my dear Watson. This cabinet has a lot of drawers, each marked with a letter. There is surely a great deal of information in them.
But we can't open all of them. We must know what we are looking for.
This ashtray is worth examining. This ash comes from an ordinary, well-known brand of cigarettes. It is still warm. This cigar is of a fine quality. It must be very expensive and difficult to obtain.
And it is not even finished. What a waste. I understand what you want to do. It's an old trick.
I can see what has been written. Please write it down.
Very well, Holmes.
This armchair is out of place. This ashtray is worth examining. I wonder which drawer the secretary was interested in. The DF drawer. Of course, the one in the message that we deciphered from the secretary's desk blotter. Closed. A bunch of keys, a telephone, a technological marvel. A number was written next to it quite recently. A fine, educated hand.
Holmes, this number seems very familiar.
Yes, but let us dial it to be sure. Miss, get me 1313, please. It is Scotland Yard, of course. I'm beginning to understand.
Lucky you.
The DF drawer, of course, the one in the message that we deciphered from the secretary's desk blotter. There are a lot of cards. How to find the right one? No, it is unnecessary. I can't do that. I can't. No, it is unnecessary. No, it is unnecessary. These blue stains come from an old typewriter ribbon. This card has been removed recently. This card has got grease marks on it. The reporter made them. Apparently, he's making inquiries about Prince Woodville, too.
But where do you come into all this? Look, if we pull the curtain a little, we can see out into the street.
Someone closed the curtain, as though he wanted to maintain his privacy. Judging from all the notes on the board, our reporter is an assiduous and organized worker. A photograph of Prince Woodville. Farley is evidently also interested in this affair. A horrible story, and rather a strange one. Here's what is strange. An attack of collective insanity. This ashtray is worth examining. The cigar end is still hot. Farley was not alone when we arrived at his secretary's office.
You are thinking of the owner of the cigar.
Yes, the reporter smokes ordinary cigarettes. Can you smell the subtle scent of gingerbread? That is the characteristic odor of a Habano Clarissimo. Our mysterious visitor is a rich man, Watson. This category of Havanas is exorbitant, and I cannot imagine a cigar lover crushing out such a marvelous smoke before finishing it. Since we saw no one leaving the building, that must point to a secret exit somewhere.
How are we going to find it?
By retracing Farley's steps from the moment before we arrived. Look, this room is teeming with clues. our man left his sandwich unfinished. The key is still in the lock. Farley consulted a card while he ate, which was given to him by his secretary just before she changed the ribbon on her typewriter. The reporter's greasy fingerprints are all over the card. When he went to file it away, he glanced automatically out of the window and saw us in the street.
He closed the filing cabinet and rushed to lock his office door. In his haste, he pushed his chair aside, but didn't think to return it to its place.
Precisely. He then hurried to tell his visitor of our arrival and showed him the way out. He then threw a piece of paper into the fireplace.
But we still don't know how the cigar-smoking visitor departed.
The answer lies in the direction the reporter took, Watson. At a certain moment, he would have been in a place where he had no logical reason to be. Look at our deduction board, and then let us go to the place where the reporter should not be. This armchair is out of place. My adventures have fallen from this shelf. My adventures have fallen from this shelf. This book has fallen down from the shelf. This book has fallen down from the shelf.
The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. My word, it's my stories about your investigations.
A real investigative reporter must have read them, my dear Watson. Perfect. Yes, Watson. In his haste, Farley dropped this book, taking it from the shelf.
Let's search this place.
There's a control box built into the filing cabinet. This box must open the secret door.
We don't know the combination, Holmes.
The answer is perhaps within the question, my dear fellow. That's not right. There we are. It is simplicity itself. Let us go and look at this secret exit, Watson. Chance has smiled upon us, Watson. This hat was almost certainly abandoned by our mysterious visitor. Imagine the scene. In his hurry, the cigar man drops his top hat. The door closes. The hat is caught beneath it. Fearing above all that he should be discovered, he does not attempt to retrieve it, instead preferring to flee.
Who would take such action to avoid meeting us?
I cannot tell as yet, but it is certain that he carries the advantage of knowing us. We must discover his identity in order to redress the balance, and this hat will help us. Let us return to Baker Street.
Let's hope that an examination of this top hat will reveal to us the identity of its owner.
It will, you can be sure of that.
For once, I must insist that you allow me to work alone, Holmes.
As you wish. Take your time. I will examine this hat at my work table. This hat is of an exceptional quality. The man who owned it is wealthy. Someone has changed the ribbon for another, more modern one, which shows a certain taste for current fashions. Not a mistress, but someone who pays attention to details. This man is married. Heat marks and a strong smell of tobacco. A cigar smoker, which confirms that this hat belongs to the reporter's visitor. This hat was made to measure by a well-known hatter located near the Old Bailey. Slight scratch marks. Slight scratch marks. The man wears glasses, and whenever he puts them on, he grazes the sides of his hat. This would suggest that he is educated and long-sighted rather than short-sighted. His hair is graying, and judging by the odor, he puts camphor on it. He is probably in his early 50s. I now have an excellent description of the man that I am looking for. The journalist's mysterious visitor is in a profession highly placed on the social scale. He is rich and married. He must have called Scotland Yard in Farley's presence. He frequents the law courts, from which he makes his purchases. This man is a judge. Let us look through my files to see if I can identify this judge. I have a memoir on the most influential judges. I have found my file. I must place it on my work table. It is him, Judge Beckett.
Have you discovered the top hat's secrets, Holmes?
Watson, this hat belongs to Sir Coots Beckett, a judge of the court at the Palace of Justice in London.
A judge? Wait, did you say Sir Beckett? That name rings a bell. Yes, that's it. What an extraordinary coincidence. Holmes, I was reading something about him in the Globe Explorer only this morning.
Decidedly, this Beckett seems to have solid ties with the gutter press.
I bought it from a rascal who ran off without giving me my change. I'm sure that I've seen him before, and...
Spare me the details, Watson. Show me the article. So, Lady Beckett is on holiday in Portsmouth. That means her husband is at home alone. Good. We shall pay a courtesy call, Watson. With a little luck, we shall leave with a few habanos clarissimo.
That you should interest a judge of the High Court isn't surprising. You have solved so many criminal affairs that there are 1,000 reasons why a magistrate should be interested in you. But why should this one feel the need to act in shadows?
It's true that it's surprising. Perhaps he simply wishes to avoid being seen in the company of this Farley fellow.
Mr. Kirby, our local postman, owes me a favour. He'll give me Beckett's address. At this hour, he should still be at the post office. I'll go there, Holmes.
Good, Watson, but be quick about it. While you're gone, I'll make preparations for our visit.
Sir Coots Beckett. I've got the address. We can go round after a nice cup of tea.
Don't get too comfortable, Watson. We're leaving immediately.
This is the front of Judge Beckett's property. It's enormous. It looks very luxurious, Holmes. This man has conducted his career brilliantly. Who says that crime doesn't pay? It all depends upon for whom.
You never said a truer word, Watson. Now, let's try to find a way in.
What's that package you are carrying, Holmes? You haven't said a word about it all the way here.
Cakes for my old aunt.
Your old aunt? Stop pulling my leg, Holmes.
If you want a sensible answer, then you should ask a sensible question.
Very well. I'm going to ring the doorbell. That should be an appropriate task for someone like me.
No, leave it. I'll do it.
No reply. The house seems empty. Shall we wait, Holmes?
No. We shall enter discreetly. The judge's absence is a blessing. It means that we can investigate without being disturbed.
You're thinking of breaking into the judge's house? Have you gone mad, Holmes?
Don't worry. I shall be careful to remove any traces of our visit.
Listen to yourself, Holmes. You're talking like a common criminal.
Closed. This lock should be easy to pick. Let's see. I need a supple pin, Watson. Can you find me one?
Very well, Holmes.
Dr. Watson, how lovely to see you again. Do you remember me?
Of course, Miss Lucy. How could anyone forget so pretty a smile? You are looking quite lovely. I'm pleased to see that you are no longer living within that dreadful area of Whitechapel, even though the shadow of Jack no longer haunts it. It certainly wasn't a place for a young woman such as yourself. Ah, Lucy, you have no idea how heart-lifting it is to meet you here like this. particularly at this time. Tell me what you've been doing. You've become a florist.
Oh, yes, Doctor, I am a florist. And I'm married now with beautiful little twin girls.
Congratulations, Lucy.
Enough about me. Can I help you with something? A pretty bouquet, perhaps?
Not at the moment, Lucy. I really need a supple metal stem. A plant prop should do.
Oh, I see. Is it to open a door or a window?
Aha, Lucy, you are a surprising lady. Let's just say that the lock on the door to my flat gets stuck, and I should like to get in through the window.
In that case, a prop wouldn't work. Better to use a hair grip. It's the ideal tool for an honest man who wants to get into his house without going in through the door.
You are wonderful, Lucy.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Good, we can pass. Here's the kitchen. There's enough room to feed a dozen people in here.
Yes, according to the newspaper, the judge's wife also feeds her pupils, in addition to teaching them.
This classroom is magnificent. These children are very lucky.
This is a photo of the judge and his wife. This photograph was taken on Judge Beckett's wedding day.
Can you hear that small metallic sound? There is something inside there. This woman is admirable. As she was unable to have children of her own, she decided to care for hundreds of others.
There is some connection between cities and numbers on top of the box, but I lack the necessary information to obtain the solution. Big Ben. The judge got married in London and early in the morning, as it is just 10 a.m. The clock points to 6 p.m. Interesting. Perfect. Perfect. There we are. It is simplicity itself. A key.
The blackboard shows the last lesson given to the children, ancient Greek.
This screw is stuck. It is preventing the picture from turning.
A desire to cook.
Greek letters. Copy them down, dear fellow.
Very well, Holmes.
There is something interesting here. An oarlock. This isn't the place for it. Perfect. An oarlock. One of the Greek books is open, perhaps the subject of the last lesson.
The door handle has been removed. It's a sweet box, probably for rewarding good pupils.
Everything points to someone who does not wish us to open this cabinet, which is a good enough reason for opening it. Sweet papers fallen from a pupil's overall pocket. This overall belongs to the young James. Well, the young James has stolen the handle to the sweet cupboard so that he can pilfer it whenever he likes. If we find his desk, we will find the handle.
It's a plan of the classroom.
Thanks to this plan, we will know which desk belongs to James. All right, let's open James's desk. Perfect.
It's a sweet box, probably for rewarding good pupils.
Please take note, Watson.
We are making headway. How do we know what this means?
There is no point in visiting the upper floors. We know from the newspapers that this building is deserted, so there is no risk of anyone coming down and surprising us. This room is undoubtedly the judge's office. It is double locked.
It would be better not to force this door, nor break a window. Judge Beckett could return at any moment.
You're right, but he surely must have left a spare. With somebody he trusts, of course.
It would be better not to force this door, nor break a window. Judge Beckett could return at any moment.
You're right, but he surely must have left a spare. With somebody he trusts, of course.
There are naughty children in every school, from what I can see.
A book about student organizations in the United States of America.
We are in the judge's private office, Holmes. What are you going to do? Turn everything upside down?
That is a distinct possibility. I will not leave until I have found what I am looking for. An oarlock. It must be a souvenir. Beckett, honorary member. This must be the symbol of an organization to which the judge belongs. Look at this symbol. It must surely be very important to Judge Beckett. A souvenir from the University of New York. That's the university where Judge Beckett studied. The young Beckett and his friends, rowing. The judge used to row. A Habano Clarissimo cigar.
Don't forget your cakes when we leave, Holmes.
Of course, Watson. This door is very solid, and there's no lock.
The best thing to do is to carry on exploring this place, Holmes. This gentleman certainly likes oars, to the point of exhibiting them in his office.
The list of symbols of the American universities. A Greek letter. The list of symbols of the American universities. I can make out a mechanism. I can make out a mechanism at the bottom of each of these holes. I can make out a mechanism at the bottom of each of these holes. I can make out a mechanism at the bottom of each of these holes. These oars can turn. Watson, this really is the most ingenious system. It controls the opening mechanism.
Very ingenious. But do we need to enter? Judge Beckett is very rich, and the room perhaps only holds valuable objects which he wishes to protect from thieves.
Doors are made to be opened, my dear fellow. I need something. I need...
Well done, Holmes.
Nothing but trophies. The judge must be very proud of them.
Incredible. Masses and masses of files. Holmes, These files, these cards, these reports, they're all about you.
So it would seem.
Your whole career is mapped out here, investigation by investigation. Look, a detailed report about your work in Whitechapel during the Ripper affair. And there, your relationship with a certain A. Lupin. And here, the details of your methods and transcriptions of your conversations with the greatest violent criminals. My God, look at the titles of the files. Fraud, deception, corruption, forgery, murder. What does it all mean?
Quiet. Let me concentrate.
Concentrate? This judge has the reputation of being the most honest in the kingdom, and he has built an overwhelming pile of documents as high as Big Ben about you, and you talk of concentration? To open his chest to what end?
Quiet.
Holmes, answer me. What is the real reason for our being here? Did you know what we were going to find before we came here?
Evidently.
So that is the real reason behind this break-in. You're only interested in the contents of the chest. All the rest of it was nothing more than lies and manipulation.
The most important is the one in the chest, Watson. There. I have what I came for.
Show me the file, Holmes.
It is unnecessary, Watson.
It's a file about you, isn't it? Is it so compromising that you don't dare show it to me? You came here to steal the research about you carried out by Judge Beckett, Holmes. It was the only thing that interested you.
We'll see about that later. We must put everything back in its place. No one must know that we've been here. Help me. Go and put the paddles back into their original position, and I'll deal with the rest.
Quick, Watson, we must get out of this house. Immediately.
What? But
Be quick, man, it's urgent.
because of you, we have to flee like common criminals, which it seems we have now become. I only hope that the game is worth the risk. Show me the file right now.
Let's find a cab as quickly as possible. We can't stay here.
Why are you in such a hurry? Wait! Look over there! Judge Beckett! Yes, it's him. Let's go and talk to him.
It's too late.
Do as you wish, Holmes, but I need to hear an explanation about what was in that armored room. I'm going.
No, stay here. That's an order.
Your giving orders changes nothing. I'm going to talk to Judge Beckett, and you will not stop me.
Watson! Watson! Are you all right?
My God! What happened? Lucy! Oh, Lucy, poor girl. I must do something. Holmes, I need your help here.
Forgive me, Watson, but I'm afraid that I must leave now.
Leave? What the devil do you mean? Holmes, come back here! Holmes!
Holmes! Are you here? Show yourself! No one. Perhaps it is just as well. I don't know what my reaction to him would have been. How dreadful. That poor Miss Lucy hanging between life and death. Luckily, I was able to place her in good hands. But how the devil did Holmes know that a bomb was about to go off? And what's more, he seems to have taken advantage of the tragedy. No more Judge Beckett, no more compromising documents, no more proof. There is nothing at all. Locked. Locked. The paper Holmes used to wrap that mysterious package that he left at the judge's house just a few minutes before the explosion. How dreadful! A fountain pen, just like the rat killers. Today, that dangerous maniac is free. And what's more, it is Holmes's fault. That inquiry at Westgate was a total failure. And this is how my dear friend and colleague treats his clients' letters. No, I don't want to go to bed yet. I must wait for Holmes. Kurtz's pipe. So Holmes took it with him. I wonder if he would have fired at those fiends in the opium den. A few days ago, such doubts would never have crossed my mind, but today I find myself asking if he could have killed in cold blood. These events have shattered my nerves. I should sleep for a few hours, or at least I should try.
Doctor! There you are. I was poisoned.
By whom?
Ah, you know him very well. Such a clever man. A brilliant mind, but so evil. He has hurt so many of us.
Who are you talking about? Holmes?
So hot. Flames. The heat is unbearable. Walter, I beg you. Where is he, that devil? One day he will have to answer to a higher power. Oh, I need air. I need water. Ease my pain.
Who did this to you?
Dr. Watson!
Is that Lucy? Lucy, you are wounded.
I can't find my children, Doctor. Find them for me. But I beg you, keep them away from Mr. Holmes.
Lucy, no. Why do you say that? Let me help you.
You are so kind. It is too late for me, but you can still save Lisa.
Holmes, I know you are in there. Holmes, open this door immediately.
I think that I would rather not.
Tell me the truth, Holmes. I need to know. You have no right to keep the truth from me. Tell me.
I am sorry, Watson.
Open this door, or I will break it down.
Do what you like. The door is not locked.
What are you doing? No, Holmes! No, it is impossible. What's going on?
Police!
Yes,
Open!
just one moment, I'm coming.
Dr. Watson, is Mr. Holmes here?
Inspector Baines, what?
Is he here or not?
No, I do not believe so.
Open the door, quickly. You're going to have to come with me, Doctor. We have a lot of questions to ask you about your relationship with Sherlock Holmes, and also regarding your movements early yesterday evening.
It's empty, Inspector.
Get dressed. We're leaving in 2 minutes.
Yes, I'm coming. I'll do all I can to help you. I would also like to find the answers to some of my own questions.
Sergeant, I'd like you to stay here with some of your men and search the place from top to bottom. If there is one clue here that will lead me to him, then I want you to find it. Doctor, you must understand that I am sorry about this situation, but if, as we believe, Holmes is a murderer, I won't hesitate to arrest him.
What did you say? A murderer?
You heard me, Doctor. The Bishop's murderers informed us that they were following orders from Sherlock Holmes.
Baines and his men have ransacked the place during my interrogation at Scotland Yard. I would never have imagined that I should be put through such an ordeal. I have always fought on the side of justice, but to be interrogated for hours like a common criminal, having to proclaim my innocence over and over again. Baines is convinced that Holmes is guilty, but who can blame him? Everything seems to point to him. I had thought that the worst was behind me, but here I am, as a suspected accomplice. All I need to do is to find Holmes, and when I find him, I'll decide. I'm going to search the flat. Perhaps Baines overlooked some clues. The harpoon that was used to kill Black Peter. A horrible murder. Baines's men have more or less spared my bedroom. How kind of them. Here is where I write my stories about Holmes's cases, and I've got work to do. This disguise evidently belongs to Holmes. Ugh, what a smell! It reeks of tobacco. This bust was used to fool Colonel Moran during the case of the empty house. This disguise evidently belongs to Holmes. This is what Holmes was wearing yesterday. Holmes has left his tweed suit here, so he came back to change after he left me in front of Judge Beckett's house, just after the explosion. Knowing that Scotland Yard is looking for him, he will likely have changed into one of his disguises. I just need to know which one. The best thing to do is proceed by elimination. I will use the wardrobe in the sitting room to reconstruct them. Holmes's tobacco. A hole. There must be a false bottom. I need something thin to prise it up. A hole. There must be a false bottom. I need something thin to prise it up. A photo of Irene Adler, the woman, according to Holmes. A letter addressed to Zachariah Dossett, the clergyman? But what is that doing here? It's a rent reminder. But why should Holmes be concerned about that? Another letter, this one for a certain Escott. Who could that be? This J. Escott must be a worker in the building. A letter addressed to a clerk of the court. Why in heaven's name has Holmes got that? This letter is addressed to a naval captain. My goodness. All these carefully hidden envelopes were addressed to Holmes under various identities. The addresses are therefore those of his hiding places. Holmes has never told me about them. I suppose that he goes there regularly and discreetly to pick up his mail. I cannot waste precious time by going to each of these addresses. I must refine my research. Holmes's Victoria Cross. This is I must collect all the pieces of Holmes's disguises and assemble them in the wardrobe in the sitting room. There, the entire outfit. There, the entire outfit. Perfect. Now I know what Holmes looks like, and I know where to search for him. Let me take a look at the map. It would be better if I took some money before leaving. One can buy a lot of things with notes in Whitechapel. My money! Someone has emptied my wallet. I always keep a little money in it. The police can't have stolen it. It's impossible. Last night I was too tired to think, but now I have to face the truth. Holmes stole my money, like any common low-down scoundrel. Good. I've got the address of Holmes's hideout. 6 Bucks Row. Well, here it is. It looks like a boarding house. I can't knock on all the doors. Holmes will hear me and escape. As I've the advantage of surprise, I'd better use it.
Oh, but I know you. You with the moustache. I met you back when Jack was cutting up all those girls around here. So you've come back to do some slumming.
Danny, you are no longer, I mean, you've given up the
game? Yes, my dear, I've given it up. Sorry, are ya? I'm the manager of this boarding house now. I rent out rooms.
That is exactly why I am here. I'm looking for someone who...
He's not here.
You don't even know who I'm talking about.
Perhaps not, but he's not here anyway. You should understand that my tenants come here for peace and quiet. Quiet and discreet, my hotellies, just like me. And I, Danny the Anvil, 11 times champion of male wrestling in Whitechapel, I guarantee their peace and quiet.
I really must insist. It's very important. You know that I'm a doctor, and that is why I'm here. I'm looking for one of your tenants, a workman. He's suffering from a rare form of tooth loss syndrome, an illness he contracted from the lead steam in the factory where he works.
Tooth, what's it?
Tooth loss syndrome, a very rare pathology.
A path of what?
Well, an illness that weakens the gums and causes the teeth to fall out.
And you're here to put his teeth back in?
No, of course not. May I come in? I must examine him.
Fiddlesticks! I haven't seen any of my lodgers ill. I don't believe ya.
You don't understand. His condition is extremely contagious. I must take him away with me.
Yeah. And if he croaks, who'll pay for his room? He owes me for the month, see? So don't give me all that, or else you'll lose your teeth without being ill.
I warn you, if you don't let me in, I will come back with the police. Think about it.
You're a grass as well. Cross this door and I'll knock your head off. Then we'll see whose side you're on.
Mrs. Anvil, I work for the government in the hygiene department, and your establishment...
Tough luck, ducky. I make my own law here.
I warn you, if you don't let me in, I will come back with the police. Think about it.
You're a grass as well. Cross this door and I'll knock your head off. Then we'll see whose side you're on.
I'm looking for one of your tenants. I'll give you something for your trouble, of course.
All right, get your wallet out.
I haven't got much money with me, but I can give you what I have. As an advance, of course, and the rest.
The rest? Do you think I'm the Queen or something? Get lost.
Dear lady, I'm a biographer and also an artist. Your hotel is quite exceptional. I would like to put it on canvas and perhaps write about its history, which I'm sure must be fascinating.
If you're drunk, you better go and sober up somewhere else.
You are so very unique. I would like you to permit me to sketch your portrait.
My portrait? What for?
It's always a good idea to have a portrait of oneself. To show your friends.
You're right. I'm lovely, aren't I? Come on, I'll do your portrait too. Art, whatever. But I don't think your friends will recognise you afterwards.
Madam, I have found you at last. I'm one of your greatest admirers.
Are you having me on or what?
I assure you, I have followed your career for years. I have seen nearly all of your fights.
Yeah, and you'll be part of the next one if you don't clear off out of my way.
Dear lady, I'm a
If you'll...
Dear lady, would you permit me to visit? It would enable me to describe your establishment in the fullest of detail.
It's not a museum. And do you think that I look like a curator?
Dear lady,
If you...
You are...
My...
What for? But to immortalize the champion that you are, of course. All the great wrestlers are doing it these days, even Pudding, Nutcracker, Stomping Jenny.
Yeah, that's true. If those big cows can have theirs done, why not me?
The light here isn't good for artwork. Let me see some of your rooms. Perhaps we will find a better light, without disturbing your tenants, of course.
Don't worry about that. Most of them are out this time of day. And if they're not happy about it, I'll explain it to them gently, if you see what I mean.
I'm sure that they will understand at once.
Yeah, come on then.
Here would be perfect. A splendid place. Ah, I've just had a wonderful idea. Why don't I paint your portrait with you wearing your stage costume?
What?
Yes, I think it would be difficult for me to capture you correctly if you are dressed in your everyday clothes. They are too elegant.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna be great. And it will remind me of the old days. Oh, but I left my costume with a pawnbroker so that I could buy some of that lovely pear-smelling perfume.
Yes, I remember. Very well, off you go. While I'm waiting, I shall concentrate and soak up the atmosphere here.
All right, but don't touch anything. The bloke that rents this room isn't very easy going. You'll have enough time. The pawnbroker's shop isn't close by.
What a mess. That's Holmes, all right. Tobacco, and a lot of it. A few files, books about criminal cases. The books Holmes usually reads. Liquid reagents, a large quantity of it, the same as at Baker Street. Holmes uses it for cleaning objects before he analyzes them. A pipe, and judging by the smell, Holmes has used it recently. analysing material. There is no doubt about it. Everything would suggest that Holmes has been using this hiding place for a long time. A microscope. Holmes's coat and deerstalker. A violin. Holmes often plays. It helps him to think. But it's out of tune and the sound is horrible. Holmes must have become annoyed with it. That happens quite often. Each of these scores bears a piece of music by a different composer. Holmes wanted to learn them all. There's Mozart, Beethoven, Paganini. Apparently, Holmes is packing his suitcase. This suitcase is closed with handcuffs, which in turn are attached to the sofa. A pipe. Liquid. These handcuffs are extremely solid. You need a code as well as a key to open them. Something is missing. Something is missing. Apparently, this suitcase holds something which Holmes believes to be important. I must open it. It could be the chance to find out the truth about his intentions. Holmes must have smoked his pipe while reading the newspaper. A pipe. And judging by the smell, Holmes has used it recently. As for the newspaper, it's only one page, with a curious article containing musical notes. This is what Holmes was reading without any doubt. Why? What do these notes mean? These crystal glasses might help me reproduce the notes in the newspaper. These crystal glasses might help me reproduce the notes in the newspaper. I know that music. It's Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. There, I found the score corresponding to Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. There is a strange stain on it. I must examine this stain more closely. Something is missing. This stain hides an inscription. It wasn't there by any accident. I need a reagent for cleaning this stain. Liquid reagents, a large quantity of it, the same as at Baker Street. Holmes uses it for cleaning objects before he analyzes them. This reagent is too strong. I'm afraid it will eat the paper away at the same time as the stain. I'll have to dilute it with water. Good. The reagent is weaker now. This stay, I need a... I'll have to clean all this up now. A sheet of blotting paper. A number. A number. Earth. Holmes must have washed his hands here. Therefore, he must have been searching in the soil. In this flat. But where? This pot is empty. There's soil here. Let's do the same as Holmes. Search. A key. These handcuffs are extremely solid. You need a code as well as a key to open them. Excellent. I've found the key to the handcuffs. These handcuffs are extremely solid. You need a code as well as a key to open them. Open. A train ticket for the London suburbs. For tonight. But if Holmes wishes to escape, surely he would travel further than that. Ah, there you are. I've got you.
Hey, what do you want?
That's enough. Take off that disguise.
What disguise?
I beg your pardon, young man.
In a moment, madam. Stop playing around. I've seen through you. You're going to have to give me some straight answers now.
I don't know who you are or what you want, but leave me alone now!
I think you are mistaken, young man.
Your ridiculous accent and your filthy clothes don't fool me, Holmes. And what on earth have you been eating? Your breath could kill an ox at 10 paces.
Right, that's it! You're gonna get the thrashing of your life!
Calm down, Mr. Hooper. I think that this young man may have mistaken you for somebody else. He obviously does not have a good memory for faces.
On the contrary, madam, everything is crystal clear to me.
Really? Well, in that case, follow me, young man. I want to show you something.
What? But, madam, please, what are you...
Calm down, Watson. It's me.
Holmes?
You were almost brilliant, Watson, but once again your last step was too wide. Take comfort in the fact that your finding this address was admirable enough.
Why are you out here if it's not for hiding from Scotland Yard? I demand an explanation.
You are in no position to demand anything.
I found you once, Holmes. You can be certain that if you give me the slip, I'll do it again, and next time I'll return with Baines and his men.
I have absolutely no intention of leaving.
Truly? So what does this train ticket mean? It's a ticket for this evening.
You managed to open my suitcase?
Enough of your lies, Holmes.
As a matter of fact, then yes, I am leaving tonight.
We are leaving tonight. I'm not going to let you vanish again.
Very well. Follow me if you so wish. But I should warn you that there is little chance of us both coming back alive.
I won't leave you for a second, and I accept the risk. What an exhausting journey. I didn't even have time to collect my medical bag, and you haven't said a word for hours.
I have been thinking.
What is this place?
A mill.
I can see that. But what are we going to do here?
It'll be more interesting to see what you are going to do.
I won't bend to your will anymore, Holmes. You have gone too far.
Shh, Watson, not so loud.
Why? Does somebody live here?
Yes, 3 men. Take out your revolver and try to keep them below while I search upstairs.
Are they dangerous?
They would kill us if they could. I'm going up there. Take care of them and make sure that they do not leave the ground floor.
Holmes, wait!
Kto tam?
Ничего не понимаю.
Ah, you're deaf. This man is seriously injured, and the wound is infected.
Kto tam?
This poor devil has lost his sight. This poor man is mute. Vodka. There's only a drop left. The Times. It's a London newspaper. Stop playing games. You were reading the Times. You understand me perfectly well.
So, you found us.
What do they want, Alieco?
Have you come to finish off your sordid work?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't even know why you're here, do you? You're just a pawn. A pawn who serves and obeys.
And you? Why are you here?
To escape from the enemies of freedom. My brothers and I are at war.
Against whom?
Against order, liberticides, the ruling classes, and those who exploit the people. Against the torturers responsible for our misfortunes. Against you and others like you.
I'm not at war against anyone.
Then why are you pointing your gun at us? Get out!
I cannot.
That's what I mean. You're nothing but a pawn. We've nothing more to say to you.
Don't move from here. This chest is very heavy and locked shut via a keypad. Without the combination, it'll be impossible to open it.
Here is a fine range of suits. Most of them are uniforms, but judging by their quality, I would say that they are disguises. This chest is strange. Its decoration would indicate that its origin was in show business. Let's see. A magician's costume. Ideal for a magic trick. Poor bird. Who knows what has happened to his master? Nothing interesting. Magician's equipment. Perhaps we will find something useful here. Nothing interesting. What was Mr. Ferguson doing here? This mill is hardly the ideal place to hold magic shows. A master key, a useful item to help a magician play the king of escape. A good luck charm. These full sacks seem to be the only ones left untouched by the mice, unless they were filled only recently. These The flour is spread out over the floor. The sack is empty. Very good. The flour is spread out over the floor. The sack is empty. Very good. An information card. Interesting. Safe conducts in case of crisis. Passports for high-ranking civil servants. None of them with names on them, obviously. A cog. Dark traces. It must be blood. There should be a cog here. There should be a cog here. Dark traces. It must be blood. Someone was tied to the millstone's axle. They must have remained there for a long time. There should be a cog here. These boards crack under my weight. Interesting. This wall sounds hollow. This piece of iron juts out from the wall. This wall does not seem to be very solid. It is not made of brick. That is just a coating. These boards have been broken and hastily repaired. I can't do that. That could be used as a weapon in a necessity. Impossible to open it. Impossible to open it. A tool shed. That could be useful. I need something. No, it is unnecessary. I can't do that. Perfect. Perfect. Watson seems to be in control of the situation. Excellent. Strange. This opening has been boarded up, but I'm sure that I didn't see it in the attic. Of course, a secret hiding place which contains a real arsenal. A Gatling machine gun, a real war weapon. Boxes of weapons. New pistols. This chain is several yards long. This wall does not... There is an iron bar in this wall. Very good. The false wall's framework is held in place by an iron bar across it. A strong rope made of hemp. Good quality. There, the rope is in place. This millstone seems to be in good condition. Perfect. The second cog is missing. Perhaps it is somewhere on the ground floor.
Watson! Watson! Have you almost finished?
I need to get the millstone working again, but it seems there is a gear missing from the mechanism.
I look on the ground floor. Perhaps it's down there.
Yes, be quick. We shouldn't hang around here. All I can do now is wait for Watson. All I can do now is wait for Watson.
I don't know what's going on up there, but this flower has given me an idea. A large, strong paintbrush. Three buttons, greasier than the others, hold the flower. Mechanical time switches. Rolls of fuse wire. I've found the timer belonging to an explosive device. You are terrorists, aren't you?
The oppressive forces won't agree to civilized discussion. Propaganda by the deed is the only thing they hear.
You are murderers.
We are first and foremost free men, freed from the moralistic constraints of a system that exploits everyone. Contrary to you, a poor little sheep, lost without his flock.
Alieko, tell him that we won't go back there.
My brother speaks with the wisdom of a free man. If you've come here to kill us, do so, but we will never follow you. We were fooled once. There won't be a second time.
You are mistaken about me. I'm not a killer.
Then you are even more of a fool than I thought. You don't even know why you are here. I pity you. You are even blinder than me.
Are you responsible for blowing up a judge's house in London?
Justice and its representatives are the double dealers in this country. Judge Beckett was one of the cogs.
Thank God that it wasn't.
We made the bomb, but we weren't the ones who put it into place. The one who ordered it placed it himself.
Who?
Я не могу больше терпеть такую боль.
Let us look at my brother's wounds. He's suffering.
No, don't move. I am a doctor. I'll do it. If only I had time to bring my medical bag.
Take this key. It opens the medicine cupboard. If you really are a doctor, you can help my brother.
Hydrogen peroxide, commonly known as bleach. There's not much left. This will be useful. These bandages should halt the infection.
Thank you.
The person who ordered the bomb, who is he?
You are not part of his organization.
What organization?
The one he leads. The one that is responsible for the state we are in. The one that tortured us.
Why were you tortured?
So that we should keep quiet.
I understand. The head of a criminal organization ordered an explosive device which he then placed at Judge Beckett's house. Once the attack came off, he had you tortured to ensure that you wouldn't talk.
Yes.
And why Judge Beckett?
He was in possession of certain evidence against him.
But who, for the love of God?
Giving you his name would be signing our death warrant.
Does either one of you know where the missing cogs are?
Well, I think there's one under the woodpile near the fireplace.
A gear. I must warn Holmes. I need something. There.
Thank you, Watson. Perfect. The mill is still not working, yet everything is in place here.
A gear. This axle links the wheel and the grindstone, which must be in the attic. One of the two cogs which ensure the connection between the wheel and the axle going to the attic is missing. What was that noise?
Everything's all right. Let us see what this wall is hiding. A body. I knew it. The magician was walled up here. I have everything I need. Now, it is time to destroy this place. Perfect.
What's that smell? I can smell oil.
Holmes, what are you doing up there?
Sherlock Holmes is here? No.
I'm not staying
Nor
here.
am I. Help me out of
Stop.
here.
Don't move.
You think you can stop us? Sherlock Holmes is a dangerous man. I'm not hanging around here waiting to be killed by him.
Don't be ridiculous. What are you talking about?
You don't know what he's capable of. Whatever are you doing, Doctor? Give me that gun. Where is Mr. Holmes? You had better remain here for the moment.
Am I under arrest?
No, Doctor, of course not.
Come in, Inspector.
My wife did enjoy reading that last story of yours in the Strand, Doctor. That was a proper adventure. Do you think you might write about this case someday? I'd like to see it.
Oh, well now, I don't know. But that is very gratifying, and I'm glad to hear that your wife enjoys my writing, Constable. My goodness, what on earth was that? Inspector Baines is dead.
The watermill is burning!
Holmes has managed to escape from the police. He manipulated me from start to finish, and to think that I played an indirect part in his crimes. Today's newspaper. Mrs. Hudson must have left it early this morning. Baines's murder has made the front page. The news has spread quickly. The poor man shot at point-blank range. He had faith in Holmes right to the end, and it cost him his life. Holmes's pipe. Broken. I didn't notice it the last time. We think that we know the people around us, those who are close to us, who are part of our everyday lives, parents, colleagues, companions, friends. Then something unexpected happens, and it tears away the blinkers which we have chosen to wear. And it's at that precise moment that we finally see the true nature of those who always mattered the most to us. But in Holmes's case, what could have pushed the man, whom I have always considered as honest and loyal, to sink to such barbaric crimes and cold-blooded murder? I don't have the answer, but one thing is certain. Up until today, I had a friend. A noise, but it's coming from the flat, I'm sure. Holmes! I know you are in there! Holmes! Open this door immediately!
I think that I would rather not.
Tell me the truth, Holmes. I need to know. You have no right to keep the truth from me. Tell me!
I am sorry, Watson.
Open this door, or I will break it down!
Do what you like. The door is not locked.
You've driven me to this.
Mr. Police! Open up!
Why did it have to come to this, Holmes? All those years of friendship and respect, of trust, everything that we went through together, and you deceived me all along, damn you. I wish that I had seen through all of your lies. But now, it is over. It is all over. After so many days of relentless investigations and sleepless nights, I returned to the Thames area, to the very place where the bishop's nephew had died. I only had one trail left to explore, one last desperate attempt to understand recent events. I descended into the putrid, dark, suffocating depths of the town, the sewers. The fresh breeze from the Thames gave way to the stale, dank air of the dark tunnels. A shadow moving through an underground labyrinth, tormented, wandering through this humid, oppressive purgatory. What I might find mattered little. The most important thing was to keep moving.